Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be going over the prop plays for the Florida State versus Georgia Tech game. I went through the game. I don't like the spread, mainly because there are a lot of unknowns, and I definitely don't like DJ Ukulele or whatever his name is. I think he's kind of a bum. He's had every opportunity to give himself a season where people can say, hey, he's NFL ready, and he's failed every moment. So I don't like him with Florida State and on this new team. I also don't want to pick against the spread because it's in Dublin, and I don't trust that factor as it's an unknown which team will end up being more affected by that. And then Florida State is also receiving 74% of the bets, but under half the money at 48%. So the inverse of that, Georgia Tech is receiving 26% of the bets, but 52% of the money. So if you're one of those people that likes to chase sharp money, that might be the way to go. For those of you that don't know me, I sell picks. I was on TikTok last year, built a pretty good following for fantasy football. I tried to get into betting, and my account kind of got blacklisted. So I'm here doing betting picks on YouTube now. I have a Winible store where I sell my plays. I do props, I do picks, and then I have a package of both. I would recommend at least getting on my free plan. Every YouTube video I make, I send that pick via the free plan, so it's a little hard to keep up with YouTube sometimes, so you can just get those plays sent directly to your phone. I have the link in the description below. I'm also doing a $100 to a $10,000 challenge throughout the season. That could be a good play for you to do. It's not going to be as many plays as this. It's only going to be select plays that I really like that I'm going to bet on this challenge. But it could be kind of a cheaper alternative. It's week 0, so all my picks are going to be on YouTube this week, which means they're all going to be in this free plan as well. So I sell plans by the week, by the month, and by the season. It doesn't really make sense to, buy a weekly package before this week. So I honestly wouldn't recommend buying it because there's only like 4 games and some preseason games to go off of. So if you are waiting for next week to purchase, your packages from the various different cappers, I will say if you get on my free plan this week, I'm going to be giving a 75% discount code to everyone that joins the free plan. I'm going to send out the discount code to everyone in the free plan so you can get all these options for 75% off. So like on this deal, 75% off of 600 is going to be $125. So it's basically the price of just 1 week would be. So that's boring. Let's get back into the game. I like doing prop picks based on correlated plays. So if you don't know what correlated plays means, it means like if I like a quarterback to go over his pass yards, then I'll choose a receiver to also go over his pass yards as well. Meaning, if he's going to get a lot of pass yards, someone's got to get those receiving yards. So you might as well play those together. PrizePicks learned their lesson after last year, so they took a lot of prop companies don't even let you do that, but for PrizePicks they do, just with a reduced payout. After going through the math, it still would be equitable to play this way. So I'm going to do that. I usually like it when there are more games, so I can choose a QB receiver duo on teams that I'm confident will rack up yardage. So in this game, I really don't like that. There's only 2 teams to pick with, so someone may not get a lot of yards, obviously, unless it's just an absolute shootout, which I'm not certain it will be. So the plays I have today for Georgia Tech, I think Haynes King's 194 yards actually seems like a fair number. And I like Eric Singleton's target share, so I have that right here. So here's Eric Singleton's stats from last year. You can see here he has a target share percentage of 22.8. That's not very high for an NFL player, but for a college football player, it's a good amount. For comparison, Keon Coleman, the star receiver, the funny guy with the Buffalo Bills now, he only had a 20.8% target share last year. So 22.8 here is very good. It's something I like. Another thing that I like about taking the passing and receiving yardage for this, a lot of people think you want it for winning teams, which makes sense. I agree with. They had to pass or run to get a lead. But I actually like it in this case where I think the game will be a little bit within reach for Georgia Tech, which means I can see them passing a lot in the fourth quarter and getting those numbers. So if you look here, this is Eric Singleton's stats last year, all of 2023. This is just in losses, though. So as you can see, in losses, he can really rack up yardage. Let me take that filter off. So if I take that filter off, he's kind of like wishy-washy. But if you look in losses, he really gets a lot of his big game numbers. Let me move this, just any loss. And so you see he put up 96 yards versus Georgia, 85 versus Bowling Green, and then 97 against Ole Miss. So I do like that a lot. So I'm going to come over here, add Eric Singleton to that. And then for Florida State, I don't like them a lot. In general, just overall throughout the season, I don't like them a lot. I think their line and their running back play are their strengths, though. Their running back is Roydell Williams from Alabama. If they have the lead, which I think they will have the lead, I just don't know if they can cover. That means I think they'll run more too. Last year they ran 49% of the time. I think for a first game they'll run a little more, especially because, like I said, I don't like DJ. I don't think he's ever been very good, and if you didn't like him in Clemson, he did all right with Oregon State last year with a much easier schedule, but I don't think he's going to do good here. And so I like them trusting their one thing that we know for sure is going to be good is their O-line. And then I like Roydell Williams too. You can see here. Here's Roydell Williams' stats. Ignore the colors. This is for his under. But this is last year when he played for Alabama as a backup. He's a really strong running back. You can see here he got 129. Let's see if I can move this down. 129 rush yards for 17 rush attempts. This game here against Bama, against Arkansas, he had 68 rush yards on just 7 attempts. So he's really good running back. He averaged about 5 yards per carry last year. So I think his prop of 68.5 is really within target. Like I said, I also think that they'll have the lead and they'll want to protect it. So here's last year's stats for Florida State. Obviously, Trey Benson got drafted. He had a rush share of 35% of the targets. That's also with Jordan Travis taking 16% of the rush share. I don't expect DJ to run as much as Jordan Travis, so I think Roydell could actually have a bigger percentage of rush yards. So those are my plays. Like I said, get on my Winible. Follow me on Instagram, please, and I'll see you next game. Thanks.